The cash-rich, time-poor deal with the problem of waiting in for deliveries, and it's costing them £60 a time.
First, though, if you have a teenager in your home, you'll know that dragging them unwillingly out of bed is generally the first chore of the day. For some of these super sleepers, though, feeling tired all the time can be an indication of a rather more serious problem.
Because a study from the University of Bristol suggests that chronic fatigue syndrome is much more common than previously thought in teenagers. It might affect as many as 1 in 100.
With us now, Mary Jane Willows, Chief Executive of the Association of Young People with ME, and Rebecca, who was diagnosed with the condition at the age of 11 and is now 15.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hello.
Good morning
Hello.
to you both. Chronic fatigue syndrome is the same thing as ME, is it?
That's right, exactly the same.
And very difficult to diagnose under any circumstances, isn't it?
It isn't difficult if you're a specialist,
Okay.
but unfortunately there are very few of those available in England. Only 25% of children have access to a specialist team.
Right. Rebecca, you had ME.
Yes, I did.
When did you know that something was wrong?
About 5 years ago, I just started feeling tired all the time, no amount of sleeping, or I just slept all the time and I never felt any better. I felt exactly the same as I did when I went to sleep. Just made no difference at all.
And what were your parents saying?
Well, to start with, they just said I was a teenager, like every other teenager, and I needed to get up and just go to school as everyone else. But eventually it became obvious that it was more than that, because I just didn't get better,
Yeah.
no matter how much I rested.
When you said you were sleeping a lot, how much were you sleeping a day, would you say?
Well, I would need about 12 hours, really, most of the time. Otherwise, I would just feel really awful when I got up.
At what point is it sort of normal teenage sleeping and that develops into a problem? How can parents or teenagers tell?
It's a big issue for parents, and obviously normally you'd turn to a GP, but unfortunately only 50% of GPs are confident in diagnosing the condition, which is why studies like this are crucial to raise awareness. But it's accompanied by a lot of other symptoms. There's the extreme pain in joints, muscles, head pain in children is very common, nausea. And so a specialist will take a very careful history of the patient.
Did you have some of those other symptoms?
Yes, I did.
Rebecca?
I had a lot of nausea. I had a lot of trouble concentrating as well. I just couldn't concentrate on things. And in a loud room, I couldn't hear one person's voices over anyone else's because I just couldn't concentrate enough to pick out one voice.
How frustrating was it?
It was
not being able to attribute it to any particular
It was very
cause.
frustrating. It got quite scary as well because I had a lot of tests done. I had all sorts of head scans and MRIs and all sorts of things done. It did get quite scary because when a doctor ruled it out, they told you don't have this, but then you know that they were thinking you had something that could potentially have killed you. It did get very scary until you knew what it was.
So the suggestion is that one teenager in 100 may be going undiagnosed. What happens if you're not treated?
I mean, that's when it gets very serious. The prognosis becomes much poorer for children and young people. Rebecca was fortunate in a way that her mother and father fought for this diagnosis, and then she got the right treatment in Cambridge. But actually, the majority of children don't. We have children waiting 5 years for a diagnosis, and in that time, they become house and bedbound and can then remain ill for many years. So it's absolutely crucial we get this early diagnosis.
Okay, is it about managing the condition, or can you say that you're out of it?
I'm out of it now, but to start with, it's a lot about managing it. It's about knowing what things are the most tiring and making sure you don't do that too often. Some things like playing on the computer or your iPod or watching TV can actually be surprisingly tiring, and it's just making sure you don't do that too much.
So you restrict that, and you also do something in terms of sort of shutting your brain down. Explain about that. would you?
I used to. It got less and less frequent the better I got, but I used to lock myself in my room, pull my curtains, turn the lights off, no music, and just sort of lie for 20 minutes and give my brain a chance to just, and my body a chance to just rest, and without going to sleep, because getting to sleep was always a bit of a problem. But just give my body 20 minutes to rest, and then I can go back and spend some more time.
So no
living my
outside
day.
influences
Yeah.
for 20 minutes.
Are we seeing more teenagers with ME, or are we just recognising it this time?
We absolutely believe we're just getting better at recognising it. Diagnosis in younger children is becoming, although not as common in teenagers, it is happening now. And 10 years ago, we never believed we'd see these sorts of numbers of children with ME.
Right. So what do we look out for as parents, which
Well, I
is
think
sort of beyond just tiredness?
I think it's listening and not not putting it down to, oh, it's just teenagers being lazy, because you know your child and you know your student if you're a teacher. And this is crucial because teachers and school nurses are the first people to pick this up, really. So it's looking for those other symptoms that start to appear, but picking it up in the very early stages.
How long were you off school for?
Well, I missed some school for 3 years. I missed
But you're
parts
back
of school,
full-time
but I'm
now,
back full-time school now.
And on the GCSE trail?
Yes, I am, sitting them all this summer.
Good luck with that.
Good
Thank
luck.
you.
Thank you very
Thank you,
much.
Mary Jane.
Thank you. Time now, 60 minutes past